There is no video more infamous than Two Girls, One Cup. Over a decade later, and that name still commands power. Just saying that name produces a genuine response of repulsion from whoever hears it, because it's an unforgettable experience. I'm not going to get too deep into the lore of it, because that's not what I'm here to focus on, but Two Girls, One Cup is actually the trailer to a Brazilian fetish film called Hungry Bitches. It's about a minute long, and in it, there's one girl who spreads her ass and shits into a cup, and then her and her friend take turns eating that shit from the cup, like Ouroboros, just constantly eating her own shit. And then eventually the girls take turns puking into the cup and then eating the puke and then puking into each other's mouths. So basically it's like a behind the scenes look at a Burger King kitchen, like this is how the meal is prepared there. And all while this is going on, there is a French classical piano song accompanying all of this action. It pretty much seems like something you would have expected from like a G.G. Allen concert. It's a really wild video that even if you hear that song or something that even sounds like that song, it's going to trigger like a Winter Soldier event in you if you've seen the video in the past, because it's something that you just don't forget. It just constantly lives in your brain somewhere. Now, it came out in 2007. That's when it really popped off, and this is around the time where the most popular things on the internet were shock videos. Two Girls, One Cup was probably one of the major videos that took the internet from just being online niche to the mainstream. And it made parents afraid of the cyberspace, the boogeyman that lives inside of that dimension they don't understand online. And Two Girls, One Cup wasn't alone here. You know, you had Goatsy, BME Pain Olympics, One Man, One Jar, Mr. Hands, Blue Waffle. There was a lot of other ones, but atop that mountain of shock shit sat the queens of shitting, which was Two Girls, One Cup. It was the most popular one. So basically back in 2007, around this time period, what would happen is people would send links to these shock videos and pictures to their friends to try and gross them out, and then YouTubers would even sometimes react to them. In fact, Two Girls, One Cup reactions are among the first reactions ever posted to YouTube, so kind of pioneering that entire meta. So, you know, you'd send a message to your friend on AOL Instant Messenger, bro, you're not gonna believe this, Tom Brady just got hit by 15 meteors, he's dead, and then send a link, but the link actually just opens Goatsy or Two Girls, One Cup or something. You'd prank your friends like that. That's how they started to spread, but Two Girls, One Cup spread a lot more than the others, and I think that's probably because it wasn't as hardcore as the others. I don't even know if that's the right word, but in BME Pain Olympics, you had people mutilating themselves, cutting their fucking dicks off and shit. In Mr. Hands, someone dies. Like, compared to those, Two Girls, One Cup is just really gross. So it was more accessible as a shock video. It wasn't as, you know, bloody, violent death as some of the others that were floating around at the time. It was just absolutely revolting. So I think that really helped it during that time. But anyway, there arose a theory, a game theory, if you will, that Two Girls, One Cup was actually fake. Now, this isn't some crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, because at this time it was also confirmed that BME Pain Olympics, that other shock video I mentioned, was fake. That was not real, at least not all of it. So that being confirmed as fake, and then Two Girls, One Cup being in the crosshairs, there was a lot lending credibility to the idea that it could be a fake video. They argued that the consistency of the girl's shit made no sense. And if you watch the video, you'd probably agree, because her asshole, like, erupts into chocolate pudding. Like, it actually looks like when you go to the ice cream machine and pull down on the lever for some chocolate ice cream and it all just kind of comes out and swirls around. That is actually what it looks like. So the leading theory was that it was chocolate mousse that she had consumed whole, and then somehow was able to, like, force it through her digestive tract and out her asshole all in, like, clean lumps. Which, saying it out loud now, seems ludicrous. She would have had to have undergone some kind of crazy fucking surgeries or something to make, like, a poop passageway that works like that. Or perhaps she's just built different, like an actual X-Men mutant with a superpower to consume ice cream and immediately shit it out in its original state. But the shit is weird. Like, when you watch her shit, it's like watching a dam blow up into shit, into a cup. I could see why people would start targeting that as like, oh, it must be some kind of Hollywood special effects. And then for the puking part, they said what was actually happening is they were using fake puke, gag puke, like that shit that you would swish in your mouth and you'd pretend to puke to scare your parents or your friends or whatever. So that was the theory, like, it's fake and here's why. and they started, spreading that around the same time that BME was actually confirmed to be fake. So I actually believed it for a while, until I brought it up on stream earlier this week, which is why I'm even talking about it now, because I brought this up, someone mentioned Two Girls One Cup, and I was like, oh yeah, wasn't that video fake? And the chat was like, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that's real. And then I had to reevaluate everything, because I haven't seen the video in years, so I had to go back and do my research, and now I'm caught in a shit pickle with no cup to catch it, because I think I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it is real. So I've been lied to. I've been fed shit by the overlords of feces, the people behind the curtain pulling the strings and controlling the narrative. I ate their propaganda just like they ate shit. And now I feel betrayed. I went through like the last, it's probably been like 6 years since I saw the video. Last 6 years being like, yeah, oh yeah, I remember that video. It was fake, but it was, a pretty wild experience still. And now it's like, oh my god, it was real. I was right the first time to be afraid. And, so the thing that really sold me is, watching it back, it is so outlandish to think that any of it's fake, because none of it at all could be. Even in the craziest pipe dream of she ate chocolate mousse and then shit out the chocolate ice cream or something, like that, I don't think that's ever happened in the history of the human species, ever. And then the fake puke could work if you didn't see their mouths full of shit many times before they started puking. So, there'd be no room to have fake puke, plus they stick their hands in their mouth. Now, going back to the soft-serve chocolate ice cream theory, theoretically, she could have spread her asshole and had her friend dump chocolate ice cream into her butthole, and then close on it, and then when they were ready for it, come game time, she could just fucking burst it out, for the fucking cannon that railgun it out. That is something to consider, because buttholes can do that. There was another popular video, this was back when I was in college, where it was a porn video where girls were spreading their assholes and then having another girl put golf balls into them. So it was basically mini golf, but with the rectum. So buttholes are capable of this. That's a pretty wild video too, not as crazy as this one, but basically the golf balls would just fall right into their asshole and kind of swirl around in there sometimes if it wasn't a great cut. So you could put ice cream in there and close on it and then blast it out. That is a possibility. But for this video in particular, I just don't think that's what they actually did here. I don't think that's how the sausage was made. And the reason for that is because that just wouldn't really make any sense, because it doesn't really look like ice cream, first of all. It looks like actual fucking shit. It looks like shit you would find in some dilapidated porta potty somewhere. It does look like shit. It doesn't really look like ice cream, so unless they really messed up the ice cream, that doesn't really fit the appearance of it. And when they're eating it, it absolutely doesn't look like they're eating ice cream at all. So I truly don't think they did that tactic with faking it with ice cream. So, but even setting that aside, I wanted more concrete proof that it was all real. So I started looking up the conspiracies. I went to the old forums, and then the people debunking the original videos, and their explanations didn't make sense to me. So I went to more official sources, because I'm not the only one that also heard this. There was articles I found people talking about was it real or fake, and in every single article they all came to the same agreement that it was real. It would have been nice if they had an interview with the director. However, the director of the film has only ever once, in the entire history of this thing's existence, only ever once acknowledged it publicly and said anything about it, and it was during a defense case. Wang actually made a video talking about the whole history of Two Girls One Cup, so I implore you to watch that if you're interested more in where it came from and all the things about it. But I can't find anything from the director talking about it, but everything he does and everything he has done is real. He does real fetish work, and he has never faked it or used prop poopy or anything. So his track record would indicate that it's real, even though he himself has never commented on the authenticity of it, other than defending its existence. For example, when he was being told that it was illegal to produce this kind of content in the States, he never said, oh, but it's not real, it's fake. He was like, I didn't know I wasn't allowed to do this is okay in Brazil, sorry, okay. So him, I feel like if he had said it was fake, he would have had an easy out, which he didn't do, so just everything points to it being real. The actresses that star in it also still star in his other movies that are shit-focused. Apparently they're still eating shit on film together, so that's cool, I guess, but that also proves that they are, they actually do that. They probably didn't fake it this one time and now do it for real. It's probably been real this entire time, In one of the articles I read, they also interviewed another popular like scat fetish director, and he says that it's not even that hard to find actors and actresses that are willing to eat shit on camera. So I'm just spitballing here and saying that it's probably, with everything here, real, and that the whole theory of it being fake was just some fucking copium. And I understand why people would want to make that up, because it's a lot easier to just believe that what they watched was gross but fake. Kind of like a movie that disturbed you. It's like, okay, but it was all fake at the end of the day. But this shit was real. Shit was actually real. And I went through like the last 6 or so years just being like, yeah, okay, so it was fake. Damn. Crazy. But anyway, just wanted to share this slight investigation I did. There's not a whole lot of information about it, so I can only like get together a few articles and bits and pieces from other places on the internet, but nothing too thorough, unfortunately. So this is where we're at. I'm pretty sure it's real. I don't think under any circumstances it even could be faked. It'd take like some crazy CGI and special effects to somehow pull that off that convincingly.